Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rucha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is The Wrath is Coming. And pretty much this is a title for a lesson that I had for yesterday. But the last few days, the apostles, three of us and the bishop, we've been, under the weather. So wasn't able to do anything yesterday. So Lord's will, we get into this lesson and the lesson will be edifying. And this pretty much came on the heels of the lesson that I had done dealing with these women, and how they should be trained, how they should, walk, and how they should conduct themselves, behave themselves, and how the older women were supposed to teach the younger women, so on and so forth. And this lesson is more along the lines of the attitude that these women have, especially in the Western world, especially in America, beginning with the so-called black woman, the Judite woman, the head tribe, and with the rest of the women, because they all follow after her, and how they have this sense of entitlement, this sense of enabling. So I want to just read this here real quick. Wrath, violent anger, vehement exasperation, indignation, rage, fury, ire. And that's pretty much what's coming. The Lord is going to release his fury and his rage upon this society. And that's going to humble these women, greatly. Because you notice that women talk all kind of shit. They shaking their head, talking all kind of shit. I mean, talking reckless until some shit breaks out. And then they be the first ones screaming, and running down the street and talking about how they're pregnant or how, they're a woman, or you don't hit a woman, do you? So all of a sudden when shit gets real, then they understand and remember that they are but women. But anyways, there's a term called enabling. I got the word enable here. It just says give someone or something the authority or means to do something. And that's what they've done to these women, especially the black women. Now, I was just watching a video that a brother sent me earlier where this Edom, I think she was an Edomite woman. She was getting into it with this Jake, and she was hitting him, and I think she slapped him, and then he went upside her head. And then this other simp, this other, Captain Saverhole jumped in the way, and, pretty much to save that bitch. And he even told him, he said, you seen what she did. The motherfucker ain't had nothing to say, talking about, yeah, you do something, I'm gonna knock you out. But that just shows you that Jake is the main problem in this society. They enable these women. They give them that crutch to continue on doing the things that they do in this society. And they're just getting worse and worse and worse. Because you have to understand, when you do that, you're not helping a woman get better or a woman grow in her position. You're helping her go further and further away from it. You're helping her, get to a place where she don't belong. And that's why pretty much these women are just pretty much like monsters out here in the streets. They're nothing but monsters, man. I look like a fucking monster. Inside joke. So here goes signs of enabling, right? It says you routinely do things for a loved one that they can do for themselves. Right. And that is like your father or your mother would do stuff for you that you could do for yourself. Same thing with these men out here doing for these women. You worry or feel highly anxious about what your loved one is doing or not doing. You lie or make excuses for your loved one's harmful behavior or poor choices. See? And here it is. If a woman smacks a man, that man has every right to beat that bitch down. I'm going to say it again. If a woman slaps a man or puts her hands on a man, he has the right to beat the shit out that hoe. Learn some motherfucking respect. Keep your goddamn hands to yourself. You won't want nobody smacking you or beating up on you. So keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. You see? But not in this society. This society, what do you have? You have women that do that. And then you have these Captain Saver hoes, simp, sucker ass, shiny suit MCs, jumping, in the way. And that's why motherfuckers catch bullets. Motherfuckers get dead. Because they jump up in people's faces not knowing what the hell is going on. Because and 9 times out of 10, you best better believe that it's dealing with a woman. A woman is involved in that situation. So it says you minimize or deny problems. And this is what the so-called black women and other women of the tribes too, because they follow right along. They minimize or deny problems. They're not problem solvers. They're problem deniers. Thinking that if they don't think about the problem, that the problem is going to go away. And that's not the case. That problem is going to be there. And as to where you could have dealt with the problem and fix that problem or try to fix it, now when you left it, it's just going to get worse. It says you consistently put your loved ones' needs before your own. Right. That's enabling. See, all these things fit the woman, especially the so-called black woman in this society. You feel guilty if you don't help. See, and this is pretty much a narcissist. A narcissist will use this against you. Make you feel bad because you don't help them out when they could help their goddamn self. You feel anxious if you don't help or rescue. You feel responsible for your loved one's life choices and problems. You feel resentment towards your loved one because you're working harder than they are, right? And the reason why they're doing that is because you are their crutch. You are doing everything for them when they could do for themselves. You have to let the little birdie fly. Even an eagle, when the chicks get to a certain age, they'll just throw them out there. You got to fly. I mean, they'll catch them if they don't, but they'll just throw them out there to fly. You have to fly. Fly, little pelican, fly. Inside joke. You feel sorry for your loved one because they've had a hard life, which is total bullshit. These women don't have a hard life. These women got it the best. Out of everyone on the planet, the women in this society have it the best. Through that goddamn feminist spirit. Between the feminist spirit, woman's lib, and these simps, these women got it. They got it. They got everything. You're afraid to let your loved one fall or get in trouble, right? Because if they do something and you let them take the blame for it, then maybe they'll learn not to do stupid shit. All right. So now we have here a sense of entitlement, and this is what a lot of these women have today. They have what's known as a sense of entitlement. It says, what is a sense of entitlement? You owe me. The entitlement mentality is defined as a sense of deservingness or being owed a favor when little or nothing has been done to deserve special treatment. See? It's the you owe me attitude. Entitlement is a narcissistic personality trait. And this is pretty much what these individuals have done here in this Western society. They've pretty much enabled these women to the point where they've been so enabled that they feel a sense of entitlement. That's why, going back to the word wrath, violent anger, vehement exasperation, indignation, rage, fury, ire. And that's what the Lord is about to bring on this planet. upon these women, upon Jake too. Not just women. The women ain't the only ones, but women are gonna really get it bad because they have it the best here. Here it is. You got women that are none but super sluts. I mean, all they do all day is just lay down with different men. They get their bills paid by all different types of individuals, do all kind of shit. I mean, and they're never in a bad spot. So when they get to that bad spot, it's going to be really bad. That's why it says in 2nd Ezra 16 and 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. Salakia. The burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And these are what? These are those military groups, you know, that Esau has, whether it's FEMA, National Guard, reserves, you know, or whatever, you know, private army or whatever they have that's going to jump and step in, you know, to put into effect these draconian measures. Salakia. All right. So it says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. So what do you think is going to happen with these women that are used to getting up whenever they want? They're used to, you know, coming and going as they please. You know, whenever they want to get high, they go get high or drunk or whatever the case may be, lay down with whoever they want. And they get restricted from all of that. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to lose their motherfucking mind. That's why it says in Isaiah 32, rise up, you women that are at ease. But what I want to do is I want to start at the first verse. We're going to read down a few verses. This whole chapter is a really good chapter. It goes into a whole lot. But the first verse says, Isaiah 32:1, behold, the king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. That's dealing with Yahushua and the elect, because that's what's being set up and established. The kingdom, Yahushua being the head, you know, underneath the Most High of this, you know, government, you know, kingdom government, you know, the kingdom government. It says, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind. To who? To these women. They're going to be a shelter. So man, the Israelite man, because let's go real quick to Isaiah 13 and 12. It says, I will make more precious than fine gold. Sorry, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So the most precious gold out there, an Israelite man of the elect, is going to be more precious than any of that. All right. So a man is going to be as a hiding place from the wind, meaning a shelter to be able to run to be protected from the things that are coming. It says, and a covert from the tempest, right? For when things start going bad, they're going to be that covering. As rivers of water in a dry place. See? It says, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So if you have a weary land, let's say you have a desert, and all of a sudden there's this big gigantic rock there, you'll be able to get some kind of shade from that big gigantic rock in that weary land to, you know, to catch your breath, so to speak. It says, and the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, right? Because the Lord is going to turn up, you know, the vision of the elect. He's going to turn up the understanding. And that's why it's a constant growth in this truth. It says, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken, right? In other words, they're going to be in tune with the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai through the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge. See? Even the person that was rash in the world, they're going to understand knowledge. Because they're going to be able to reason and not be so quick, you know, or not be so impatient. And the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly, right? It's going to be like a plain thing. It ain't going to be that like them people that speak in circles. They're just going to shoot him straight. It says the vile person, which is Esau, and you have Israelites too that this fits. But the vile person, which Nabal is foolish, or Nabal is foolish, senseless. So the vile person or the foolish person shall no more be called liberal. Yeah, because they're not, the Lord is going to make a distinction between, who's serving the Lord and who's not. It says, nor the churl said to be bountiful. And the word churl goes back to the word niggard, a person that's stingy. And he's not going to be known as bountiful because he might try to act like he's bountiful, that he's giving, but he's really not. He's really a niggard. He's very stingy with his goods, even though he has great goods. It says, for the vile person will speak villainy, and that's all they do. It says, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. And that's why you see what's happening here in America and around the world. They have everybody pretty much in a trick bag. It says to utter error against the Lord, right? And that's what they do. Because every time you hear these wacky-tacky Christians, talking, speaking, all they're doing is perverting the words of the Lord, uttering error against the Lord, saying that the Most High says this, but when he's not saying that. It says to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. It says the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. Because what they're doing is they've set a whole bunch of traps in the world. And one of the main traps that they're setting up is financial. This financial trap that they're setting up. It says, but the liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand, right? Because, whatever you reap or whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. So it says, this is the point here, rise up, ye women that are at ease. So these women are at ease. So rise up, meaning what? Come up off of that comfortable state that you're in. To arise, stand, rise up, stand up. Like the scriptures say that the Israelite woman, wouldn't set her foot on the ground, because she was too precious. Well, all that shit's gonna be thrown out the window. So rise up, you women that are at ease. Look up this word ease. The word there is sha'anan. Ease, quiet, secure, right? So when all hell breaks loose, these women are going to be in a bad way. They're going to be in a violent anger, vehement exasperation, indignation, rage, fury, ire. So what's going to be the solution? Well, the solution is going to be that the man will be, a covert. The Israelite man, the men of the elect are going to be that covering for these women. But for a lot of these women, they're not going to make it. They're just going to die because they ain't right worth a damn. So going back, it says, hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Because you see that with a lot of these women, they're careless. And even women that claim to be in the truth, constantly running their mouth, talking about that they can be prophetesses, that they can prophesy to, that they can teach. Totally out of order. So the Most High is going to get them all. Because a lot of these women that so-called come into the truth, they come into the truth with that world mentality, with that feminist spirit. And that's not going to cut it. Scripture said that we're supposed to become a new man. So now before we read on, let's go here to Amos 6:1. It says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion. Right. So all that's men and women. Destruction unto you that are at ease in Zion. Because right now, as the world is in motion, we see a lot of stuff happening that is going to bring serious hard times. And while these devils are moving and doing their thing, Jake is out here playing games, still not taking things serious. Here it is 2022, and they still ain't taking things serious. So guess what? When all hell breaks loose, they're going to get caught up in that. That's why the Lord said that when I called, you refused. So he said, I also will laugh at your calamities. I will mock when your fear cometh. That's why scripture say, the Most High is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. It says, and trust in the mountains of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. Right, and a lot of Jake, they put their trust in Esau in these times. That's why I said that, those that are escaped of the house of Israel shall no longer stay upon him that smote them, which is Esau. But they shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in truth. You see? Because that's where it's at. People look at the Bible as a joke, a fairy tale, a Aesop fable, and they don't take serious that the words within that book is what's going to keep you protected in these times. This is very, very serious business, man. The very words within the book are going to be the ones that's going to keep the individual safe in these times. So I'm going to jump around a little bit. It says, ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seed of violence to come near. Right. So you put away the evil day, right? And you cause the seed of violence to come near, meaning you people enable you, and you enabling Esau to continue on with this wicked rule that he has, the seed of violence, which is Esau. And you put the evil day far away. Oh, that's not going to happen till, way in 100 years from now, maybe 200 years. Like it tells us in 2 Peter. It says, that lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their couches. Yeah, because you have some jakes that are well-to-do. Like you had this one clown talking about, well, when you go to these different, poor places, of course you're going to have liquor stores everywhere, and they're going to have it bad. But if they come to this neighborhood, you have families that are making 100,000 plus. Yeah, but what Esau is doing is they're phasing out the middle class. I mean, these so-called Christians will do anything. They'll fight tooth and nail. They'll kill you just so that they won't be Israelites. Anybody else could be an Israelite except for them, except for us. It's fucking unbelievable, man. Jake will fight tooth and nail to tell you that we are not the people of the Lord. They'll kill you just so that they won't be the people of the Lord. It's amazing. That motherfucking Christianity is a hell of a drug, man. A hell of a motherfucking drug. You had these other two clowns talking about Deuteronomy 28:36 that was fulfilled in 500 something BC with King Zedekiah. Yes, it was. But guess what? You had another king, King Hoshea, that was taken down by Shalmaneser. That was another time where it was fulfilled, 700 and some odd AD. And then it happened again in these times. Yep, Stockholm Syndrome, that's it. It says, and eat the lambs out of the flock and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sound of the viol and invent to themselves instruments of music like David. Yeah, these people don't have a care in the world. Jake out here, they don't have a care in the world, man. But that's why they're going to be taken off guard, especially these women that drink wine in bowls and anoint themselves with the chief ointments, but they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph. Yeah, paying like $100, $200, $500 for a bottle of some bullshit ass Eau de Toilette, You don't know what the fuck is in that. Oh, it smells good. Yeah, but it could be sewer water. It could be chunks of rat feces floating in that thing, and then they cleaned it up. You don't know what the hell, they made that up. But it's $500, so it's gotta be good shit. I want to go to this point here, right here, because this is just, sidetrack a little bit. Amos 6:10, and a man's uncle shall take him up, and he that burneth him, to bring out the bones out of the house, and shall say unto him that is by the sides of the house, is there yet any with thee? And he shall say, no. Then shall he say, hold thy tongue, for we may not make mention of the name of the Lord. And you have these individuals like these small hats talking about that. I guess this is where they got it from. That they can't make mention of the name of the Lord. That's why they call him Hashem. Which that's total nonsense, because when it says, hold thy tongue, for we may not make mention of the name of the Lord. Let me see if there's one around here. Yeah, they all say mention the name of the Lord. But when you go to the interlinear, right, and you go to where it says we may not make mention of the name of the Lord, it seems like it's saying that you can't speak his name. Like they also try to use an incommunicable name, which that's not what it's talking about. That means incommunicable name means you can't put what the Most High does on any other God. All right, because he said he will not give his glory to another. But when you look up the word make mention, the word there is zakar. So we wouldn't be able to call on the name of the Lord because we wouldn't remember it. To remember, recall, call to mind. That's why it says in Baruch that, we shall remember ourselves and think upon the Lord's name, or something along those lines. That's what this is talking about, not the other way around. All right, so let's go here to 1 Timothy 5:6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Right, now I want to jump to some of these other translations. But the widow who lives only for pleasure is spiritually dead even while she lives. Because this chapter is dealing with the widow, the young widows and the older widows. But this also applies to women in general. All right, it says, but the widow who lives for pleasure is dead even while she lives. This is a good one here, ESV. But she who is self-indulgent is dead even while she lives, and while she lives. And that's what these women are. They're self-indulgent. Why are they self-indulgent? Because they have been enabled by their parents, mostly by their mother, by men, by the lifestyle that they keep, the culture that they were brought up in, and they think it's cute, and it's not cute. It's not cute, man. And that's why the Lord's going to bring a serious judgment upon this place. You could read Proverbs, the 1st chapter, from around the 20th verse on down. It tells you that when, that the Lord's going to laugh at you when your calamities come upon you. It's going to get bad out here for you women. It's going to get bad, real bad out here. So you sisters that's, doing the best that you can, just keep on doing what you've been doing. Because a lot of these women ain't going to make it. She's not going to make it. She's not going to make it. Because especially those that call themselves being in the truth and still have that feminist mentality in the truth. You definitely ain't going to make it. Lord's will, this Friday, we'll be putting up the new moon video, plus the memorial of blowing the trumpet, which they come in at the same time. And then the Day of Atonement will come like 9 days after that. So we'll be putting that up. This month coming up is usually where the most high holy days are. Come in. All right. So pretty much, that's pretty much all I had. Just times are gonna get hard. The wrath is coming, and it's gonna get real bad. And then that's when these women are gonna realize that they're fucked up. Like you have videos of women before talking shit about how they don't need a man and this, that, and the other. Then years later, they're making videos of how hard it is to be a single mother and how hard it is to, you know, to provide for themselves and how they need a man. They'd rather go, you know, cook and clean and keep the house and blow rod, you know, in order to be straight, you know, good to go. Because women are going to find out, you know, that without a man in this society, you ain't going to go nowhere. You know? That's that bullshit mentality that they put in, they inject it into your veins. You know? So with that, you know, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. To the next time I say shalom.